Hey, we're live.
We are live now. Hello, everybody. Although perhaps we're probably only watching ourselves.
I heard we're just watching ourselves.
It would be sad, sad occasion.
Uh,
I guess we could probably start by introducing ourselves. I'm Rowan.
My name is Trevs. Next to me is yeah.
and I'm Bob Seeker.
We are live now. We have a celebrity. Although
Uh,
probably only watching ourselves.
I heard we're just watching ourselves.
Someone's echoing. It would be sad, sad occasion. I guess we could probably start by introducing ourselves.
Do you guys remember to mute your YouTube video streams?
Did I just walk into Twilight Zone?
And I'm Bob Seeker.
Did you mute your YouTube video?
Huh? I know I muted mine.
Someone's. It would be sad, sad occasion. I guess we could probably start by introducing ourselves.
Do you guys remember to mute your YouTube video streams?
Did I just walk into Twilight Zone?
Yeah.
Huh? I know I muted mine.
Mine's muted.
I think so. I know I'm muted.
Is it good now?
I think we're okay.
That was actually my bad. You can just punish me now.
No, you're still echoing.
Jesus. Well, now I gotta put the pirate hat of shame on.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's gone now.
There we go.
Trevor, everyone blame that guy.
That was a
Fuck
fun.
that guy.
That was good though. I did feel like I was in the Twilight Zone about that. On the good news, there's 5 people watching.
What the fuck? That must be just us.
I hope they enjoyed that.
I did. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I hope everyone else enjoyed it thoroughly.
I enjoyed it twice.
I think.
All right. Yeah. We should definitely. It was a good time. All right, control room. Sorry, I'm just setting things up. Oh, and we lost a viewer.
Yeah, because we're not talking about anything.
We probably lost them with the echoing. They're like, these guys don't know what they're doing.
Well, it is half true.
I'm done watching this. So I guess we'll start off about discussing comics, perhaps.
What comics have you been reading this week?
I haven't read any of my comics this week, but I did buy lots of comics.
I haven't read any of the comics I bought 2 years ago.
Have you read any comics this week, Trevor?
I think the last one I did was my Valiant comics and Spider-Gwen.
And Spider-Gwen?
I did,
I haven't read it, but I did buy Spider-Gwen. It wasn't any good.
Oh, it's excellent.
Well, we'll find out, I guess. All right, and this is the last issue of Swamp Thing, is it not?
It is. I haven't been able to get my hands on it yet. I will, I think, Sunday maybe.
Oh, okay. Well,
did you open it?
I haven't looked in it yet. I literally have not even looked at my comics because I've been trying to organize all my other ones.
Is it still a $2.99 book, or is it like double size?
Let me look. No, it's $3.99.
Okay.
So my guess is it's got some extra stuff in it.
That's exciting.
Probably just Charles Soule telling you to go screw yourself.
I'm going to be so upset when I finish that book.
I know, it's the best book DC has.
It's been my favorite DC book since the New 52 launched, consistently so.
Yeah, it's so good, so good. So I figure we start with maybe discussing the two events going on, the two major events.
And what events would those be?
What would you like to start with? Would you like to start with Convergence, or would you like to start with Secret Wars?
Let's get to less good one.
The Secret Wars one? Is that what you said?
Well, you said the less good of the two, which I guess would be
Yeah.
Secret Wars.
Well, it depends how good we think both of them will be, I guess. But yeah, no. Let's start with Secret Wars then, shall we? Yeah. So if you're watching, whether it be live, which probably isn't because there's only 3 viewers, which is probably us, or if you're gonna watch this later and you don't know what Secret Wars is, they're bringing Secret Wars back, which is one of the more famous events Marvel ever had, and basically it's a year-long event. I know that sounds fun to everybody's wallet, and basically every book will be affected and tied in, and books will be canceled because of it, and books will be started because of it. What's your opinion on Secret Wars, Trevor?
Is it actually still going to be 12 months? I thought maybe it was like... Because
That's my question about it.
the main book I think is only 8 issues, and I think we get 2 issues a month.
Yeah,
It might even be finished by the end of August.
that's kind of my thing. And I mean, Marvel promoted it as a year-long event. I'm thinking perhaps it's just we'll have the after effects of it for the year.
Yeah, those would definitely influence the next bunch of issues, and that'll be either big comic and big titles.
And I mean, they're also saying that it's going to affect Marvel in a whole. So that's what I'm interested to see because, Will, I know you can remember this, but Marvel also said Age of Ultron was going to affect Marvel forever. And that
Age of Ultron flopped harder than my...
Well, and of course, Ultron, like any Marvel event, it ended, and then they were just like, oh, it's all time travel. Never mind that any of this happened.
Exactly. You think that's going to be their scapegoat this time?
I hope not.
Well, my question is, can they do that anymore? Because from my understanding, the whole reason we have this event is because of all, in the last, let's say, 5 years, all the events with all the traveling and the multiverses, like, they have to fix it. It's almost like a total reset because they have so many after effects of time traveling that have messed up the continuity that they have to do something.
And honestly, this event has been hyped up so much by the company that if they don't do something big, a lot of people reading the comics will be pissed off, and they will maybe just walk away. They have to do something big.
Solution is simple. Bucky needs to die again and stay dead.
I think Trevor reads the Bucky comic. I think, don't you?
The Bucky one's actually pretty good. It's set in space. It's like it's a sci-fi epic. It's really not what you'd expect from a Bucky comic.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's gonna be interesting, especially with the 2 movies coming out this year. That's what I'm kind of curious about, is because you also know from the past that Marvel is going to at least try to tie in Ultron and Ant-Man to every book they possibly can. I mean, that's what
the
Guardians.
Guardians of the Galaxy. Yes.
So I'm interested. I'm interested to see how that's gonna work with the Secret Wars and what part they're gonna have Ultron play. Because I mean, realistically, they haven't. They've only announced the. They've only announced what is it? The Avengers and the New Avengers and Uncanny Avengers. They've announced like the Ultron Forever miniseries, but I don't think that's part of the Secret Wars. So I don't know. I also think it's going to be very interesting about. I'm not sure if you know about it, Will, but basically they're ending the 2 Avenger titles.
Ooh.
And from what we know so far, the only one surviving is the new one, which is A-Force. Am I right in that, Trevor? Yeah.
Yeah, but the A-Force is the brand new book that's coming out. The 2 ones that Hickman's doing will be ending, and I think Hickman himself is walking away.
Yeah. And the A-Force, for anyone that doesn't know, the A-Force is basically it's all Marvel's female characters basically forming into an all-female Avengers, which I think. What was that?
That one's penned by G. Willow Wilson, who is now doing the Miss Marvel comic.
Yeah,
yes.
I think it's gonna be good, and by the pictures, it looks like She-Hulk's the leader, so I'm okay with that.
That's definitely good.
As long as a Hulk is the leader, we're okay. But what were you saying, Will?
Is the female Thor going to be in this group of?
Yeah,
she's actually not in the images, but she could be.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would not be surprised, but of course, then the other thing would also be, I think. I believe they're doing something with the female Thor in the Thor book. I don't read the Thor book, but I feel like the previews kind of said that I feel like they're wrapping her up. Are they not?
It's difficult to say how long that book is going on. As of now, we don't even know who the woman is yet, but that's going to be revealed in the next couple months.
Yeah, I remember seeing it in the previews book.
Mm-hmm.
I was seeing a bunch of people thinking that that's going to be Angela. They released, what was it, Age of Ultron? She came into it all.
Yeah.
Though Angela actually had a comic of her own, and so she wouldn't exactly be able to fit in.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Once.
You wouldn't know about that, Will.
No, exactly. I've been out of the game too long.
Yeah, they gave her own comic.
That's also an X1 comic.
Like, so she's clearly. Oh, really?
Yeah. It's definitely one of my highlights each month.
Yeah, I haven't read it at all. I might pick up a trade of it. I don't know. Angela doesn't. I would say Angela doesn't do it for me, but I shouldn't say that. I've only read Angela in the context of Guardians of the Galaxy, and I was not a fan of that. So
yeah, that title probably doesn't do Angela justice. She comes off solid in the solo book.
Oh well, that happens.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else. Is there any highlights, Trevor, that you are looking at from Secret Wars?
No, I have one question actually. I'm not positive of, but they announced in the solicitations of May. They announced a bunch of new #1s, but they haven't actually specified if these things will be ongoing comics or if they'll just be one-shots, like the Planet Hulk book. Is Planet Hulk going to be a one-shot? Will it be an ongoing?
I hope not. And by that I mean I hope it's not a one-shot.
You know, Rowan wants to collect the Hulk books all day.
All day, son. Oh, look. I think we have 2 comments, guys.
Oh, do we?
We do.
Really?
I think it's someone that you guys, Trevor and Willow, know. Because they said it's from CJ Roy.
We know CJ.
And it says, hello, Willow and Trevor, and those I don't know. And then it says, man, that guy with the Captain America shield is really stupid. No. Oh, and thank you. He said he liked my She-Hulk poster. And yes, that is the image from #1, just enlarged.
Where are we going in Moncton? Alright, 1 second.
I don't know where we're going in Moncton.
Oh, we take this over there.
is it Noel?
Ooh, I like this place.
Trevor.
I believe.
Sounds good to me.
He enjoys that idea.
Alrighty, gents. Let's get. I'm sorry about that. Sorry about that.
Sorry. So, yeah, so we're discussing Secret Wars, and another book that I don't know if I'm going to pick it up or not. I might wait for the dollar bins, but I think it's kind of funny, is that MODOK has his own book coming out.
Why would they do?
Yeah, it's only a 5-issue mini, but
And it's like about in a world. Isn't that the one that's like it's an entire world of MODOKs?
that's definitely what it looks like. Yes, it looks insane. It's called MODOK Assassin. MODOK Assassin.
I lost interest in MODOK.
Why, you don't like MODOK? He's such a silly character.
Remember, I'm all about the Doom.
Doom. That's an interesting topic though, because I've been noticing that. Because I also love Doctor Doom, but Doctor Doom, other than the beginning of Hickman's arc on New Avengers, I found Doctor Doom really hasn't, like, Marvel hasn't really been doing anything with him.
He showed up in a couple issues of Loki, Agent of Asgard, a few months ago. Yeah, he didn't do much, but he was in the issues.
Okay.
He was also in those 2 issues of She-Hulk that came out a while back, like in the beginning of She-Hulk.
Yeah, because his son used her as her as a lawyer. Sorry, I can't talk. But yeah, no. I also wonder, perhaps they're not using Doctor Doom on purpose. Kind of like how they're getting ready to cancel Fantastic Four.
I think Guardians of the Galaxy is basically taking that team's place anyway.
Yeah, unfortunately no one cares, sadly, and that is sad. Well, I shouldn't say I don't read Fantastic Four, so I don't really care, but
I don't really care.
No.
I feel like the new Fantastic Four movie is gonna flop.
Look, I'm trying to think. Is there anything I'm missing, Trevor? Talk about Secret Wars, like.
Well, you're obviously missing the new issue of Spider-Verse issue 1, the event that I cannot escape.
Trevor is a slave to all that is Spider-Man.
I bought every single tie-in issue of that event, and it finally finished, and now I have to keep buying it.
They're just, I don't know. Well, and especially now that Marvel has the rights, everyone is screwed. Well, not the rights, but Marvel
really don't have the rights.
Yeah, now that Marvel has the joint rights.
Yeah, Sony wants still all the creative control of Spider-Man direction. They just now can use him in the films.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. So now Marvel is going to shove so much Spider-Man down our throats. It's going to be retired. Well, that's probably not a politically correct word, but
it's going to suck.
It's going to be politically correct. It's going to be gigantic ball sacks. That's what it's going to do.
I think there's definitely enough Spider books going on at the moment. It's like 6, 7, 8 books a month, maybe, if you count all the female ones.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say with Silk and with Spider-Gwen.
Also Jessica Drew as well.
Oh, yeah. Man.
And we also still have the 2099 book going on.
Yeah, that's right. And then it's like Amazing Spider-Man, and then it's, what is it? They have like .1 issues all the time.
Yeah, we have a 5-issue mini now coming out of just .1 issues, 16.1 to 21.1.
Ugh, that's horrible.
Ugh.
The only good thing about it is that Point mini is being written by Conway, who's one of the classic writers from like the 70s. I think he was actually the one who killed Gwen Stacy in the 70s.
Ooh, that's exciting. Maybe he'll kill Stacy in the ongoing. That's my real question. Do you think those characters are here to stay?
I think Gwen is.
No.
I don't know about Silk though.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I really like the Silk book, but I still think it's a money grab. I think that they'll run it as far as it'll go, and then they'll end it quick. Who knows though?
I think Spider-Gwen now basically has the potential to be the Miss Marvel comic of 2015, the equivalent of how huge Miss Marvel was last year.
Well, yeah, and I know there's a lot of like internet buzz going on about that they could already be talking about like movie stuff with her.
Mm-hmm. A TV show too, I think, was also mentioned.
Yes. Oh, TV show.
Actual ongoing TV show, or just like the Daredevil stunt they're gonna pull?
I feel like it would probably be on Netflix. Because Marvel, as far as I know, Marvel's deal is like exclusive, is it not? With Netflix?
I don't know. I'd have to look into the deal.
I feel like after Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., everything else goes through Netflix. Maybe I'm wrong, but that was kind of my understanding. So I don't know. Do we think is that all there is to really say about Secret Wars? Is that we hope?
We hope it's good, and we hope it makes big changes, but who knows?
Yeah.
That's not a shame,
Like I said, you don't want the worst thing that's going to happen is it'll be like every other Marvel event, and at the end they're going to be like, "Oh, guess what? We time traveled." Just kidding.
Done.
It's bad of me to say, but I actually hope this event kills off a lot of my ongoing comics, even the ones I like, just so I can save money. My list is so massive with that company. I just want some of these books to end.
I would personally like. I would like it to fail on the simple fact that I think if it failed, Marvel would then be forced to kind of reevaluate, and then instead of just,
events.
Yeah, don't give us events every month, and then as well, like you don't need to have like 90 comics on the shelf. Like,
I think, yeah, DC made that mistake with New 52 and trying to push out 52 monthly books each month, which was just way too much.
It's just totally unreasonable in my opinion. Well, then from there, what was that, Will?
I think Marvel's at the point where they're just kind of focusing so much on their cinematic universe that they're not giving two shits what's happening with their comic books. They're just like, let's write a bunch of stuff, put it out.
Well, and that's the big thing too, right? Is like I've been saying that now for probably like at least last year. It's like when you read Marvel comic, you're basically just reading a gigantic ad for
whatever movie's coming out.
And I probably like more so. I'd say more so me. Like I don't know if Trevor would feel like, because Trevor, you pull like some of the more random stuff from them.
Yeah, I'm usually a fan of the offbeat small comics they do.
Yeah,
like, for example, I don't even read Avengers.
Yeah, see, and I only basically read like the bigger stuff, like Avengers and Captain America and all that fun stuff.
I'm also I don't like the movies also, so
this is true.
Don't like the movies.
Comics.
Trevor is a hater of the movies.
Wow.
Will's silent. Will's done with this live feed.
Guys, I'm leaving the feed.
All right. Well, then, how about we go into Convergence?
Will you actually be reading the main event? Like,
Some of them. I know I said I wouldn't, but I'm a sucker.
I don't mean tie-ins, but like the actual 8-issue like event.
Oh, no.
Same.
I'm interested in it, but I'll wait for the trade. I'm not that interested in it.
When this event was first announced, I was happy because I thought to myself, now I get a 2-month vacation from DC.
DC is slowly ruining my pockets.
We can
like
tell.
Every other month I jump from DC to Marvel. It just goes back and forth. But, yeah, it's too much. See, my problem is I thought the same thing, that a 2-month break would be nice, but there seemed to be more of the miniseries that I was kind of interested in than I thought I would be. It should be pretty, like, I'm going to get, like, the Justice Society mini. Obviously, I'm getting, like, the Superman, all the Superman stuff. And the Green Lantern stuff.
I'll be reading all the Batman ones just because my brother will buy them. And I think the Sparky one looks cool, too.
And, what else? Are you guys going to read any of the Wonder Woman ones?
I think so. At least the main one, at least. The one that just says Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman's bathroom material for me.
I haven't read any Wonder Woman, so I'm the only thing I've been exposed to with Wonder Woman is like Superman Wonder Woman, which is my heart. That's like one of my favorite DC comics, perhaps. Are you still only read Volume 1, haven't you, Willow?
Yeah. I'm waiting for the other one to come out.
Yeah.
I think Volume 2 comes out like next month.
Oh, it's so good. So good.
Drinking some water.
Drinking some water, man. I'm parched.
Did you narrate everything he does?
I'm going to narrate everything one does. I really gotta start reading some DC books. I've never been a big DC guy, so other than like Batman, I feel he's got the only interesting villains.
I was always the same way until DC slowly wins you over. That's the problem.
Do they?
Well, and my thing is I like the DC comics versus the Marvel comics. It depends on what kind of mood I'm in, but Marvel comics, you're pretty much guaranteed for it to be very light, I find. Like, I don't know about the offbeat stuff, but like the main titles are usually pretty light, and they're always like really fun and all that jazz. Where I'm more invested in the DC comics, I find, because the stories are just, I think, a lot deeper. They're written a lot deeper. So it's where I'm trying to think what I'm trying to say. A Marvel comic, you can kind of pick up one issue and read it, and you're like, oh, okay. Where with the DC ones,
you kind of have to buy the whole series.
It's like reading a book. Like, you have to read the whole story, and they vet it. And, of course, I don't think it's a misconception, as everyone kind of thinks about DC, is DC's a lot darker company than Marvel. So if you like, I think, a more intricate, darker story, I think DC is the best thing to read. In my opinion, I think the only thing that rivals DC on the Marvel end in terms of writing is probably I don't know so much new ones, but like older X-Men titles that actually have larger stories to them. I don't know. What do you think?
When you say you like DC better, do you mean all time, or do you just mean now?
Just now. Like, I'm more, like I said, like Superman, Wonder Woman, Action Comics, Superman. Like, I'm more vested in those story arcs right now than I am with Marvel. And I mean, especially, like, I've dropped a lot of Marvel in the last couple. Like, I dropped Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, I don't know what else I dropped.
Well, it bums me out that you feel that way. I totally hate DC's New 52 line.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Well,
Swamp Thing was the last thing that had me hooked in, but now Swamp Thing is gone.
yeah, Swamp Thing was the best book. I'm trying to think all the. Yeah, but I say that it's not like I pulled that much DC. Like I get Batman, Superman, Action Comics, and Superman, Wonder Woman, and I think that's it. I'm just invested in the Superman, basically.
In 2011, 2012, I was into so much New 52. Like, I loved Swamp Thing and Animal Man, Demon Knights, Vampire, even Aquaman and Justice League, and Batman and Batwoman and Batgirl. And all those comics either got canceled or they just went downhill.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, we've had the discussion too, like, sadly, I mean, I think that's both of our feelings on Batman right now.
Yeah, I'm not in Endgame at all, sadly.
No, and like we said, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it at the beginning. I just think it's kind of died off. That's my opinion about that. So, Will, you said you were gonna jump into your into some comics, perhaps some more.
Yeah, I'm thinking I've got to get back in the game.
I think.
Oh yeah.
It's either going to be more comic buying or more Funko buying. I'm not sure.
Probably
Funko.
It'll
Funko
probably
is what always win.
Where the fuck would other dart go?
It's in the box.
What do you mean it's in the box?
It's in the box of hangers. She's shooting darts at me while I'm trying to listen to you guys discuss comics.
I'm bored.
No, obstacle course. But well, I guess if we're gonna stay on the big two right now, and I think it'll be interesting with your opinion, Trevor. Like, what about if we discuss some of the movies coming out of the big two? And let's start with DC, because that'll be a shorter conversation, I think.
I think one movie this year. Do they have anything else?
No, there's no movies this year, is there? No.
No, they got Batman. Dawn of Justice is next year against Civil War, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trevor has told me that he can't remember anything since birth he's been more excited for than Superman versus Batman.
Well, if it's anything like the animated short, it's gonna be a badass film.
I'm so excited it keeps me up at night, and I haven't slept since the movie was announced.
Man, you're not getting much sleep.
I don't know. We'll see. I'm of the opinion. Trevor knows my opinion on this. My favorite DC movie, from the newer selection, has always been Man of Steel. So I'm excited for this. But like I said, I'm yeah. You never saw Man of Steel?
I've yet to see it.
Don't
listen to Trevor. Don't listen to Trevor.
I
don't watch the movie, please.
But I like terrible movies, so.
Well, if you
he was just watching Terminator 3.
Exactly. I enjoy that film.
If you like T3, you'll love Man of Steel.
Man of Steel. I really enjoyed Man of Steel. So, especially for the newer, I liked it better than I liked the Batman movies. So
the Batman movies were really good.
Trevor doesn't like Batman movies.
The Nolan ones? No, I don't like those ones at all.
You're a hateful man.
I know, he's just a horrible person.
I like these, just not ones made by Nolan and Snyder.
He really doesn't like
Nolan.
No.
No? Did you at least enjoy Heath Ledger's performance?
Oh, he's amazing in it, but I can't stand the movie that he exists in.
I'll take what I can get.
But my thing is, my question about Batman versus Superman is, how are you nervous, or how do you think it's going to work with the thought, or at least what everyone's speculating on, how many characters they plan on introducing in this movie?
88.
I mean, basically, it's just like we're throwing the entire DC universe into this movie. Because, I mean, obviously, we already know, because we've already seen the images that we're getting Wonder Woman. And I think it's almost pretty much confirmed that we're getting Cyborg and Aquaman, I think. I think they confirmed that pretty much.
So they're changing the title to The Dawn of the Justice League.
Yeah, well, and that's kind of my thing. I also, like everyone talks about, think it'll be interesting with, I mean, I'm just as excited as everyone else to see the opinion of how, what's his name's going to do is Batman.
Affleck?
Yeah.
Should be good. But, I mean, you think at this point, you know, comic movie-wise, you take a lesson from Spider-Man 3. You throw in a bunch of extra characters, and you're going to have a bad movie.
Well, and I'm also not really understanding the. Maybe I haven't read enough on it, but like, have any of you guys seen villain at all? I don't think they've announced a villain, have they?
No.
What do you say, Trevor?
Spider-Man 3 is like better than like most of the comic book movies that they put out today. Sam Raimi's a better director than like anyone that they've had to direct a comic book movie since like 2008 or 9.
Oh, Willow.
I think I'm gonna have to leave the live feed.
I like the old Spider-Man. I like the old Spider-Man movies better than I like the new Spider-Man movies.
I'll agree with that.
I still don't like 3, but that was basically Eric Foreman's fault.
Spider-Man 2 is basically the pinnacle of the genre.
Oh, Sinister Six.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think Spider-Man 2 is by far, in my opinion, like probably one of the best comic book movies.
What's not to love? One villain, you know, one protagonist.
Doc Ock is such a good villain too.
I mean, this is the villain that successfully killed Peter Parker.
It's true.
So, if it's going to be any villain, it's got to be Doc Ock.
I've never liked a villain so much since. I think the only one I liked it as much was the guy who played Doctor Doom in Fantastic Four.
Anything with Doctor Doom in it.
Which I'm smiling, but I thought he was good in that movie. I don't like the Fantastic Four movies, but I think he was an awesome Doctor Doom.
Oh, look what they did to friggin' Galactus in Rise of the Silver Surfer. You wonder why they don't ever get talked about.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. What about, is there any of the DC movies that you guys are looking forward to?
Say it again, please.
I said, is there any of the DC movies you guys are looking forward to? Wonder Woman, Green Lantern?
Wonder Woman might be pretty good.
Wonder Woman will be good if Michelle McLaren gets to direct it.
Do you think that will happen, or will they just cop out and get Zack Snyder to do them all?
Probably gonna opt out. Schneider's gonna do everything, and Nolan's gonna produce.
I would be furious.
I don't think Snyder can physically make out those movies anyway. One's exhausting enough.
Snyder is a hack.
You don't really need to make any more movies anyway when you've made a classic like Sucker Punch.
That is a garbage film.
Oh, Willow, don't be like Trevor, Willow.
I showed Rowan that, and he was living it for years.
You like that movie, Will?
I love Sucker Punch.
I love that movie.
I showed Rowan Sucker Punch, and he was digging it.
Well, I was like, this movie's awesome.
Speaking of that, don't we own it now?
We own Sucker Punch.
That's right, you should own at least 5 copies.
What's not to love? Blonde samurai chicks fighting robot friggin' samurai things. Friggin' Vanessa Hudgens is a badass. Look at this. Look at this shit. How do you not love this?
That dragons out of nowhere.
So good. Don't worry, Will. Trevor, I'm gonna buy you guys 5 copies of it.
A guy that looks like Leonard Nimoy.
And I'm gonna tape them. I'm gonna buy 5 copies, and every copy behind it will have a copy of Elektra taped to it.
That one's probably better.
Oh man, don't say that. It's so bad. Elektra. All right, well, enough about DC. Let's go to Marvel.
We don't have all day. We don't have all day for Marvel, Rowan.
Have you picked up the new Hawkeye book?
I have not. I'm going to read it in trade because I'd like to read Fractions Run before I start this run.
Yeah, I can see that. I recommend it too, by the way. That Fractions Hawkeye is amazing.
Are you pulling the new Hawkeye? Or
I'm not pulling it, but I'm so tempted just to pick it up off the shelf.
It looks. I mean, it's Jeff Lemire, so that's a no-brainer. Although I'm not liking the fact that he's not doing the art. I think him doing the art would put the book over the top.
I don't like that the Big Two almost doesn't allow him to actually do that with his books. He only does it on the indies.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Pick it up.
Nelly has 5.
So is there? I know you hate all the movies, but is there any movies, Willow and Trevor, of Marvel that you are like excited to see or tempted?
I wouldn't expect the Ant-Man, but bad things happened, and now Edgar Wright's gone.
Age of Ultron, man. Age of Ultron.
He's gonna be huge.
It's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good. Other than Ultron looks stupid, but I can get past that. I'll try to.
They dropped the ball on his look, didn't they?
Yeah, I don't know what was. I get it. I'm assuming it's the whole they wanted like the human eye look. So I'm suspecting to connect to audiences, but I think it would have been way cooler if he looked like the cartoon. I think that's the ultimate, in my opinion, Ultron. Anyway.
Man, the one with the badass cape that took on the Guardians of the Galaxy? That's the Ultron.
So tough. I'm interested as well to see the Quicksilver difference.
That would be good.
I talked so much shit about Quicksilver before Days of Future Past came out, especially when he put out that burger commercial for promotion for like Carl's Jr. But I mean, when I saw Days of Future Past, I loved Days of Future Past. I thought it was one of the best. I think it is the best X-Men movie they've made.
Oh, of course, it's the best X-Men movie they made. It pretty much erases all the other X-Men movies from the equation.
I would be okay if I didn't have to watch an X-Men movie again.
Well, you don't, because the first, 6 don't matter because of Days of Future Past.
I don't want to watch that.
Oh, man, it's good.
It should have been Ellen Page's movie.
What?
Days of Future Past should have been Ellen Page's movie. As Kitty. But no,
yeah,
I
can see that, especially because you read, I don't overly read X-Men. You're more into X-Men than I am. And I've heard that a lot by people that really like X-Men it's stupid that you had this giant event and then they were basically forced to make it a Wolverine event.
X-Men, the whole film universe, is like 8 movies all about Hugh Jackman. I'm sick of it now.
It's true, he's right. It should have been a Jennifer Lawrence movie.
A Jennifer Lawrence movie. I gotta say though, the casting for Apocalypse is looking pretty good. They've gotten some good actors.
Such as? I haven't been keeping up.
What's his name? The guy that played Llewyn Davis is playing Apocalypse.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, he's playing Apocalypse. And then like those kids, they got the girl from Game of Thrones that's playing. She's playing Jean, isn't she?
The one who plays Sansa?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I think so.
Yeah, I believe. I'm not really up on it, I guess, but oh well. What about what's your thoughts on Captain America, or what has been released about Captain America so far?
The Civil War?
The Civil War.
I think they're gonna fight over a Snickers.
Fight over a Snickers. Did you see Winter Soldier, Trevor?
I saw it. I wasn't a fan of it.
Oh, see, and I really liked Winter Soldier.
I only
I
like.
thought.
I just really like Captain America, though. So
I like Black
Yeah,
Widow, but that's about it.
I'm still at the point where I think Winter Soldier was better than Guardians of the Galaxy. So
I'm not gonna go that far.
I enjoyed Winter Soldier more than I enjoyed Guardians. Guardians was a fun movie, but I found Winter Soldier to be serious and fun.
Guardians of the Galaxy automatically wins.
Cinema.
What?
I briefly fell asleep during Cap 2 in the cinema. Like, I was out cold about 10 minutes in the middle.
My thing is Captain America will never be good as Guardians of the Galaxy because Captain America didn't have any Thanos appearances in it.
True.
When Thanos came on the screen, I almost cried. I was so happy.
But, I mean, using that logic, Avengers 2 won't be as good as Guardians of the Galaxy because there's probably not going to be any Thanos appearances.
I don't know. We'll see.
It'll probably be like end credit shit.
I feel like, yeah, I don't. This movie, out of all Marvel movies, I don't know what the end credits are gonna be.
Hopefully more Howard the Duck.
Are we gonna get a revamp Howard the Duck movie?
I hope so. And it's got to be that shitty CGI Howard the Duck from Guardians.
I'm one of 10 people in the world that I actually enjoyed the original 80s Howard the Duck movie. I thought it was really funny.
I think it was supposed to be funny too. So I mean, I don't hate it like some people do. It was meant to be comedic.
I mean, it could be worse. You could be watching 90s Captain America.
90s Spider-Man.
Yeah. There's lots of bad movies. You could be watching Lion Gates Presents Man Thing. Because that was a winner. So, I'm trying to think, where would you guys like to go from this? I'm looking up news for us to I know what I'd like to talk about. What's everyone's opinion? Have you guys seen the Supergirl yet?
I think I've seen something about it.
Thoughts? What do you think of the con?
Okay, I have no complaints.
No? I literally haven't read one comment on the internet yet that hasn't said that everyone hates the tights.
My problem isn't with the costume, it's the image itself. Why is the background... It's all black, and it's projecting a lot of darkness onto the costume.
Yeah, so, it was a horrible picture. If you haven't looked it up, Will, I suggest you look it up because it's pretty.
I'm looking it up right now.
Pretty shitty.
I think I've seen something about it, but I didn't really read the article. So.
If you just look up Supergirl, CW TV show or something, I'm sure it would come up.
Oh yeah, I just typed in new Supergirl and boom, 30 pages of this shenanigans.
Of this shenanigans. I think it is kind of cool. All the what would you call it? All the kind of nods in the casting where they've casted like the girl that played the original Supergirl, and they've also hired I can't think of their names, but the actress and the actor from the Lois and Clark show, because they're casted as playing her parents.
I'm with Trevor. I'm digging the costume except for the tights.
I think the costume's all right. I really like the old costume from like the older. What was it? A show or it was a movie, wasn't it? Or a show? Movie. I like the old costume. I have the same problems with Smallville. Like I don't like how they make DC and CW feel they have to make the costumes all like earth tones, and they really have to be like gritty. Like especially for a super character in the Superman universe. Like to me, it needs to be like bright ass blue, bright ass red.
Yeah, I can see bright ass red, but I don't think there's such thing as bright ass blue. I've never seen a blue ass that was bright.
It's the color. It's in the crayon box. I've seen it before.
It's actually labeled bright ass blue.
Bright ass blue. But another thing that kind of makes me think of spinning this conversation off into is when do you feel people are going to get fatigued with movies? I don't necessarily find everyone talks about the movie fatigue, but I don't think that should be the worry. I think the worry is the TV show fatigue.
Oh, yeah,
because you're being exposed to that way more than you are the movies. And especially now where we have like Flash, Arrow, Walking Dead, Gotham, whatever else I'm not thinking of.
Thrones, whenever it's on.
iZombie comes out this month.
iZombie comes out. Are you gonna try that, Trevor?
Oh, definitely. It's made by the same guy that made, I think, Veronica Mars. So I'll check it out.
I think it looks kind of cool. The images have been cool from it.
I'm gonna have to check this out. I've heard of it. I haven't really looked anything into it.
But I mean, and then on top of that, they've pretty much already confirmed like you're gonna have Firestorm has his own spinoff from Flash, and who else is Adam is getting his own spin-off show from Arrow.
Yeah.
And then they also announced this week that they're going to be doing a team show.
So this is how CW does now?
Apparently CW is in the DC business. But I don't understand what the team show is going to be about because they've only confirmed Adam, Black Canary, and Captain Cold, but Captain Cold's a villain, and they released it as if he was going to be part of the team. So, what I'm almost curious about is, are they going to try to transition some sort of Suicide Squad show into CW? Because, I mean, realistically, Suicide Squad, I mean, was on CW before they considered it a movie. Just with, like, they had Suicide Squad show up in Smallville, and they had it show up in Arrow, and mentioned in Flash, and all that stuff. We talk about CW, and you just get quiet. Sorry.
Who?
Both of you.
Yeah, I'm not going to CW. What?
Trevor, you should talk about how much you really love Gotham.
I want to punch that show in the face.
He doesn't like Gotham.
No, he doesn't like golf. Will's just done. Will's...
I apparently have to go.
Okay. We've been on for an hour.
We have been.
We're going to the casino, Will. Come on, let's go.
Friggin', I've got to start watching Gotham. Second I seen that trailer for Joker, I was like, shit.
Punch in the face.
Oh, stop punching things in the face, you hipster.
That's gonna be his exit. Punch in the face.
Punch W in the face. Making all them shitty TV shows.
Will, come on, chop, chop, chop.
Let me end the chat, you bitch. Hi.
So you know, I am still here, and I'm taking away your shield now. You're not allowed to have it back.
We will see you.
Yeah, I'll leave you guys to finish up the chat the old-fashioned way. Talk shit about me once I'm gone.
Yeah. Obviously, and we'll be back again bi-weekly. Yeah. So, all right, we will talk to you.
All right, you boys have a good rest of the chat, and
yes,
you as well, Willow, as you are not a boy.
Yeah.
She's contributed so much to the conversation that I forgot she was here. All right, talk to you guys later.
See ya. She's just so impressed with our likes of movies and TV. She's blown away. She's speechless. It's all right. I said we'd do it for an hour and a half, so we have a half hour. We can fill a half hour.
How much do you love Gotham?
How much do I love?
Yes.
I watch it. I don't hate it. I've already said I'm not. The Joker origin. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the new Joker.
I gave up on episode 5 when Jada Pinkett Smith made these two women fight each other in an alleyway to the death, and not one of them questioned why.
Well, I don't know where you live, but I see that all the time, man.
I think that was my final straw with the show.
Well, you should jump back on, because if you saw Jada Pinkett Smith announce that she's not coming back.
I did say, and it is beautiful news.
You can just jump on season 2. She's really, I really don't mind the show other than her. Like, she just really bugs me. I think she's a horrible actress, and I think she just sucks.
Does the show still have, like, 2, 3 evil lesbians?
Who were they? Oh,
yeah, there's Jada Pinkett's character, but there's all sort of stuff going on with, like, Jim's wife and relationship with someone else.
Yeah, she hasn't been in it very long, I find. Like, now that they're pumping more and more villains out into it, no one really gives a shit about Barbara's ex-girlfriend. Especially because the only reason she was in the show was she was investigating the death of Oswald, and now that everyone knows he's alive, they're just not in the show anymore.
Is it still giving us like a new villain each episode?
No, we're now on. Well, I shouldn't say that. They've basically been expanding it to 2-3 episode story arcs. Like, we got the 2-episode arc about Scarecrow's origins. Then we had Joker, and then that was only 1 episode, and then the episode after was the origin of how the Red Hood came into existence. Not the character, the actual Red Hood came into existence.
Has Balloon come back yet?
No, the balloon guy hasn't come back. He was
back, I'll jump back on.
He was one of my favorite villains on it. So
instead of tying the balloon to full-grown adults and sending them away, I think next he should actually focus on like babies.
Just tie babies up and just send them off.
It's believable, at least.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I don't know. Like I said, I watch it. It's one of those things that I may not enjoy it all when I watch it, but oh well. Now, like I said, I have been really enjoying Flash. I have liked Arrow now that we're past all the Deathstroke stuff. But I still think Flash is the best show on TV right now. And any show that's willing to commit and 100% just go full out and say we're a comic book show. From episode 1, we're going to give you all the biggest villains, and we're going to full-blown do costumes as ridiculous as we want. I'm all for that. So I guess to bring it back on comics, we haven't talked about Image yet.
No, we have not.
So I think we should talk about Image and what our thoughts on that. How big is your Image list?
Not as big as I want it to be, actually. It's a company I keep wanting to expand with, but they just have too much coming out. I feel like Image is putting out so many books now because they actually want to compete with the big two.
Yeah. I agree with that. And like I've said to you before, I don't necessarily know if I think that's a good thing or not. I think when they had a lot less books, the books were higher quality. I think quality control was there a little more, perhaps. I just feel... What?
There's no handful of Image books I do pick up, though. I do love a lot, so I don't have any issues with Image books I don't like, because I only pick out ones I know I'm going to love.
Yeah, well, and I say that on the fact that, like, you know, things like Saga, like, I love Saga. Saga will forever be on my list as long as it's a comic. Do I think it's as good as it was from number 1? Like, no. I think Saga's dropped off a lot, especially within this last section that they're doing right now. But at the same time, like, do I think it's better than anything Marvel has? Yeah.
As much as I love Saga, I do love Saga. I don't even know if it's the top Image comic, because I also love Sex Criminals and Alex and Ada and Bitch Planet and The Wicked Divine.
Yeah, Alex and Ada, without a doubt, for me, is the number 1. Like, the best comic they have. We're on whatever issue we're on now, like 11 or 12, and not a single issue have I ever questioned, is this my favorite comic, like, this week or this month? It's always hands down the best comic. And it's the only book that I get to the end of it and my heart just, like, flutters because I'm either, like, excited or I'm sad or I have any comic that invokes emotion from you is a good thing. Well, unless it's that you want to burn it. Then it's not so good. But, I mean, those have been great. Like, what are other Image books that you get? Because I know you get some that I don't get.
Rat Queens is one of them.
I think I'm going to pick up the trade of that, because I really do want to...
That one's a lot of fun, yeah.
So, and I'm interested to see how they do now that they're back out with the new artists.
Yeah, they have someone in there now, but I think that should be fine. Like, I think the highlight of the book anyway is the writing, so...
Yeah. Well, and I will give it to Image. I think they did an amazing damage control job with that whole issue they had with the artist.
Yeah, they stepped in immediately and just took him off and didn't say anything else about it, which is... Keeping him on definitely would have caused way too many issues.
Yeah, well, and I just feel bad for the writer, because I remember I read the letter that he had put out to the internet, basically saying, like, he's friends with the artist, and that, like... And I was just like, man, that has to be the most awkward thing ever. You got this book, and, like, it's been selling out, it's so successful... And then some guy has to beat his wife, so. And I was kind of worried because it's a book I'm interested in. I don't want it to end because I want to jump on it and read it. But I really was worried that might be the end of that book.
The couple comic site reviews I see of that comic pop up, it hasn't gone downhill at all. So
Perfect.
Most people say it's still as good as it was.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what else. I mean, Image, they have so much good stuff. Supreme Blue Rose is good. Although I think I've decided I am going to buy the trade of it.
I haven't looked into that one yet. That one's Ellis, isn't it?
Yeah. The art, it's worth it for the art alone. The art is gorgeous, and I really like, because it's the first book to ever use whatever process on the computer they do.
Mm-hmm.
It actually, in the back of the books, they explain how it works and how they make the art look like that.
Yep.
But it's, for anyone that isn't pulling it right now, because it only has one issue left, it's definitely a trade book. That's why I want to buy it in trade, because I'm already on issue whatever, and I have no idea what's going on. It's a very confusing, and it's very like Sandman-ish, where you kind of want to read it all together.
You've been getting Nameless, haven't you? The new
Yes, I have. I haven't read, number 2 came out this week. I haven't read number 2. I love number 1.
Yeah, me too. I've been kind of confused though, because I saw some reviews pop up this week of issue 2, and all of a sudden now people call this book a miniseries. I thought it was supposed to be an ongoing.
That's kind of my one complaint that I find with Image, is that I don't think they ever really specified. They used to, but the last couple preview books, they don't specify anymore minis and ongoings. It's just kind of like, pull this book and
I think they let sales kind of decide.
Yeah, it's like we'll see what happens, kind of thing.
But again, I can't imagine a Greg Gruson book not selling well. So maybe it was his own decision to not keep up with it.
Yeah, well, if it is a mini, I'm almost hoping that it's because he's got a ton of other books he'd like to show us.
That would be cool too.
Yeah, that would. Is there anything from Image that you've been enjoying, Willow?
Yeah. Bitch Planet and Sex Criminals are like my 2 favorite comics right now.
As they should be.
Yeah.
Wayward.
What?
Wayward?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the news about Bitch Planet and Sex Criminal TV shows?
They'll probably not be good. I mean, how can you do Sex Criminals in a television show? Like,
yeah, I've wondered that. It could work, I guess, if they could get like someone like HBO or someone to pick it up.
That's the only way. And with Bitch Planet, like, you're not gonna have the budget to make it look decent. It's gonna look like shit.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I agree with that. My thing is, I guess even with the HBO comment, you still couldn't have a good Sex Criminals like the comic, because it would still be way too racy, even for HBO.
Maybe. I mean,
maybe they can convince like Pornhub.com to make it.
They also have to go like way far away from the source material to make it either way. So
yeah,
I mean,
it's definitely gonna be a better read than it would be a better watch. And I agree about Bitch Planet. Sci-fi is very hard to do right on TV, I find, because you're dealing with smaller budgets. And something as epic as Bitch Planet as well.
Bitch Planet on TV compared to the comic, it's going to look like the Doctor Who TV show in the 70s.
Yeah. That's probably a good comparison.
Also, its content is too controversial to ever get off the air. I mean, as soon as it came on the air, white people would be furious. I mean,
fat, white, rich men would not enjoy it.
they are not going to be okay if that show ever became popular.
I gotta say though, the last issue of Bitch Planet, I know me and Trevor had talked earlier about it. Was that not like the greatest issue?
I was a little hesitant when Kelly Sue announced that every issue 3 would be like an origin flashback deal. But I think issue 3, as you said as well, might even be the best of 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, it was so good, and I enjoyed it because when they showed that character in the other issues, it wasn't a character that I overly like thought anything about. Like I didn't. It was just kind of whatever. Like I thought it was just a background, and now that I've read the origin, I'm just like, oh my god, like I can't get enough of this woman.
It's actually kind of brilliant the way that they're structuring it, because what they're going to do is they're going to make us care about every single character in that book while still pushing the narrative forward.
Yes, and that it's a brilliant thing. Like because I think that's a big problem when you. It's the good thing about Image that you don't have really with the big two is that you're not, most of those characters you're not starting with, so you're not building that relationship with the entire world that comic's set in. If you know, even with New 52 Reset, I mean, in order to be invested in Lois Lane or something like that, like you still need some sort of back reading history on her to appreciate who she is. And I think that's the setup Bitch Planet has that most comics don't, is that we're really gonna get that origin to all the characters and we're gonna care about them. And that's what I have to say about that.
Well said. Met with silence.
What?
No, just met with silence. Just
No, that's right. Silence. Minute of silence. How about not to skip and jump, but we did only briefly touch on Daredevil on Netflix.
I'm excited actually about the show.
I mean, we posted in the Facebook group the Kingpin picture.
Yep. Actually, I just saw a thing posted online today that one of the people writing the show is going to be Christos Gage, the comic book writer.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He does like some Buffy and Angel comics. He also does some Amazing Spider-Man with Dan Slott. He also did some Vintage comics as well.
Perfect. I think it looks good. I was like, I think like everyone, I was kind of skeptical when it was announced. Just because, you know, like whether you like it or not, with all the issues you have with a Walking Dead or a Gotham or anything that happens when you're converting properties that you love to television and film, I worried about how good it was going to be.
What makes me most, I guess, content with this Netflix package, I like how self-contained it's going to be. I like how there's no season 2 planned. It's just 13 episodes, then you move on to the next show, and that's it.
Yeah. And then you don't have to worry about Daredevil until you get to Heroes for Hire.
It's the complete opposite of, you know, committing to 10 seasons of Gotham, which they want.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. And I think that's where Netflix has really figured it out. And, you know, as much as, like, I know you said, like, you don't watch it, but I think, like, something like, you know, we just finished watching House of Cards Season 3, where I can watch the entire season, and there might be another season, there might not be another season, but it's contained enough that I'm content with it.
That's usually the case with all Netflix shows that go up like that. Because when they
Yeah.
make a season, they have no idea if they'll get a next season. So they just you have to make it. You have to make each season finale count as a potential finale.
Yeah. Well, and I just think about all the damn trouble I've had like getting through goddamn Smallville. It's like never ending, man. I'm still in the same place I was 4 months ago. Like, I haven't watched any of it, so I'm like at the end of season 4 or something, 3 or 4. But it's like, it's so overbearing as a watcher to then be like, oh my god, I literally have to watch 10 seasons.
And then season 11 in comics.
Yeah. Well, good things you pick all those up out of the dollar bin. So, and speaking of bin, I have something to say. I know I told you about it. Since I can show everybody, there's nothing worse than when you buy a comic and you think it's awesome, and then you find out there's just this triangle cut out of it because you weren't paying attention.
I think it adds personality.
It does. What I'm interested in is I want to know what the triangle was used for. Because I opened it and like there's no like anything to cut out. So this person specifically cut a perfect triangle out of the cover. What did he need to use it for? Maybe he put it like he was going to like a tuxedo party and he needed like a pocket square thing. And
Maybe he
like,
did it just so someone like you would one day be asking that question.
Oh my god, that would be amazing.
He goes to bed at night thinking about one comic to himself. The person who now owns this comic, does he think about that triangle cutout?
He's just like, I'm literally gonna make someone commit suicide because he's gonna go crazy. I'm not gonna commit suicide, P.S. So, if you're watching this video later and wondering if I'm still alive, I'm still here. I'm still kicking. But yeah, no, I'm trying to think a good place to go from there. And all I can really think about is I look at my floors to tell people buy trades, don't buy single issues. Because
single issues is
your life ruined like mine. Right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 7 boxes on my floor in my living room. I have 2 more boxes upstairs, all long boxes. I have a short box, and then I have to go get another box because now I'll see if this will work. But I still have those 2 stacks of comics.
I wish I was patient enough to wait 6 months for each trade volume to come out, so I could just stop buying issues. It would make life so easy.
It would, and you know me, I honestly didn't really read trades until we met.
Yeah.
You kind of got me into trades, and now that I've read trades, it's changed my life. Now, I say that, unfortunately, most of the trades I own, I either end up buying all the single issues that are in it, or I already own all the single issues and I just buy the trade as well. I'm a habitual double dipper. I'm horrible like that.
I'm usually able to stay away from double dipping. I do it so seldom, but I actually just did it a couple weeks ago. I'll show you now.
Oh, it's just you and me, Willow.
Hey.
I don't double dip from single issue to just trade. I need something to really justify it. So, like,
yeah.
I recently bought this at Buffy Season 9. Like, it's a massive book. So basically, if I'm going to double dip, I need like a deluxe-sized comic book.
You need a reason to spend as much money as possible to double dip.
Yes, this book is like $35, but still.
Yeah.
I needed the deluxe size. I can't just go from single issue to trade paperback. But I would go from single issue to deluxe sized.
That's alright, man. Just point fingers. That's alright. As I look at my Saga collection, as well as all the trade paperbacks for Saga.
You also want a deluxe book?
I still have to buy it. I just haven't bought it.
But you plan to, you said.
I do plan. Saga, I find I'm more willing to double dip on independence. Period. It's not more willing. Period. Marvel and DC, in my opinion, I think their trade prices are ridiculous. It's cheaper for me to get single issues than it is to get the book. And I honestly, I just can't especially Marvel. I think Marvel, they know people will buy the trades, and I just think they're way too overpriced.
Yeah, it's like $25 now, like 5 issues in trade paperback is just way too much.
Yeah, and it's like if you want a hardcover, which I mean, let's be realistic. Anyone that buys trades wants a hardcover. That's what they'd like to have. And it's like I'm not paying $40 for a couple of issues in hardcover. That's why I make most of my trade buying either secondhand or Image, because at least Image's pricing is you can't beat it.
Valiant is actually using the same method as Image, yeah. Like Volume 1's with Image and Valiant, $10, and then beginning with Volume 2, it's up to $15. But even 15 is okay.
Yeah, 15 is fine. 15 is the same price you're buying like some pop and chips for and stuff. Like, to me, I can justify that. But even like the Saga hardcover is what, like 500 and something pages.
It's like it's 18 issues, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like 18 issues plus all the extra stuff in it, and that hardcover is like $30 cheaper than buying like the Age of Ultron event in hardcover. And it's way less pages. Way less.
Willow and I actually, we want to buy an omnibus book that DC is putting out in a few months. DC is putting out an omnibus of George Perez's Wonder Woman from like the 1980s.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
It's 20 issues. It costs like $75.
Yeah. $100. But to me, I almost count those separately because I can almost justify the price on those, not just for the amount of issues, but they also look good on your shelf.
Oh, they look amazing.
Yeah, like I can justify that. It's just normal hardcover trades I can't justify.
It doesn't do us any good. We have no shelf space.
Oh, I'm in
shelf space. We'll buy shelves.
I'm in the same boat. My shelf isn't. I just bought. When did I buy that shelf, Trevor? Like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. And
it's full. It's 100% full.
We could fit a shelf in this spot I'm pointing at now, huh? Small one. Just you can.
You guys don't need a bed. Just sleep on your shelves. Be rebellious.
Something to think about, I think.
No.
No. Okay, see, I was gonna try to talk about Alex, but you're a trade Alexinator, aren't you?
I am. So I've only read up to issue 5.
Okay.
Volume 2 comes out, I think, next week. Though I'll be picking it up instantly.
Thank God. So good, man. So good. And I do have to say this. To go back to Marvel for a second is the all new Captain America is actually good. I ragged on that forever, and it's actually been good.
That's the one with Stan, like that ex-Falcon as Captain?
Yeah. And I just didn't think it was. I didn't think it was going to be very good because they made him Captain America, and then they made Captain America's son the new Nomad.
How many issues is that?
I don't know. I think that's an old issue. I think it's like 4 or 5, I believe.
Okay.
But it's been pretty good. I was really iffy on it because I was just like, like, it's kind of stupid. I really enjoyed the Captain America run before it, but he slowly, every comic I read of his, I tend to put more trust in Remender as a writer, that he knows what he's doing.
I think he's maybe the biggest writer in comics now. I've not read a single thing from.
Oh, really?
I can't think of anything.
The Uncanny X-Force that I bought is him. And
okay.
I finished the volume 1, and as short as the story was, like, the writing was superb. And Black Science was great. I dropped it, but I'm gonna read it in trade. Like, I do like Black Science. I'm gonna go out on a limb though and say that I think his big Marvel stuff is better than his independent stuff.
That's usually not the common opinion with big name writers like that too.
I just like I honestly I think out of any run of Captain America I've read, I think the run on Captain America is honestly probably one of my favorite Marvel runs in the last 2-3 years. And that's simply because I think that's one of the darker books I've ever seen Marvel do, and it's surprising they'd allow someone like Captain America to have a dark book.
Is Steve Rogers in the book at all?
Steve Rogers is in the book still. Steve Rogers is still basically from the events before All New Captain America. Steve Rogers had the super soldier serum taken away from him.
Yep.
So he now has aged to like a 90-year-old man, and he's kind of like Oracle now. Like, he just sits in Avengers Mansion and he's just does the computer stuff, which I think is kind of funny because the joke's always been he doesn't really know how to do it.
Because the only I've seen the old Cap because he's in She-Hulk by Soul.
Yeah,
that's the only stuff I've seen with the old Cap though.
Yeah, he's still old. I mean, obviously anyone knows that's not gonna last.
No.
But it's been a good run. Captain America is one of those really odd books where if I was going to list off Marvel books that would tie in with absolutely everything, Captain America would be number 1. And Captain America has not tied into a single event in 2 years.
It hasn't?
No.
I didn't know that.
Captain America, since Remender came on, has never tied in with anything. It's entirely self-contained.
That's the most interested I've ever been in reading Captain America, I think.
I'm telling you, if there's a Marvel book I can recommend, it is Captain America, and it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Like, I love the artwork in it. And I shouldn't say it doesn't tie in any stories now. Because he was turned into an old man, he is an old man in the other comics.
Well, obviously, yes.
Yeah, but they don't tie. There's no storyline tie-in, and like I said, how I've said since I started my YouTube page and since I've been talking about Captain America, how many Captain America stories can you read where he's been so broken down and dealing with issues with having a son that you get 1 or 2 issues of him just contemplating suicide. Like, it's not something that you see in Captain America books. Because to me, whenever they break Captain America down, it's always just like, oh, geez, like, this is a downer, like, but I live in America, the greatest country, and I'm Captain America. And I think that's what's been interesting about Remender's run is it's not so much about him being Captain America, but it's even now with all new Captain America, we're still dealing with the ramifications that he has a son now, and and him being a father. And I think if more people read it, they'd find it's very touching and deals with issues as Batman dealt with Damian and just what it means to have a son and someone young and impressionable that's looking up to you.
Do you think this story is going to continue on even once the big event is finished up? Or do you think it will just go back to status quo?
If I had to predict, I think they're going to get rid of Falcon at the end of the event. I think that'll be... I think they'll try to bring Captain... I just can't see them having a Secret War without Captain America. And if I'm not wrong, some of the Secret War posters have had normal Captain America, have they not?
Well, those posters, I think they have, like, alternate versions from, like, different universes coming together.
I think so, somehow he's gonna come back. I just can't see... It'll be very odd to have a giant event. I mean, we already know with Marvel's history, Captain America is always some sort of leader. And I think it'll be very odd to have Falcon as one of those leaders.
I think like to see them actually stick through a guns though and keep these new teams?
I'd love to see it. I think Falcon brings a really cool aspect to Captain America because instead of having a back history of Captain America just being the all-American white male, like Falcon has like an actual backstory of like, you know, like he grew up in a ghetto and like his father was killed by drug dealers, and he has a lot more interesting and relatable background, I think, than Steve Rogers. So who knows? I'm more interested right now to see if his son stays around. Because his son is pretty funny.
Oh, I don't even know much about him at all.
Well, basically, he's not biologically Captain... Well, he's basically Zola's son. Zola cloned Captain America's DNA and created Ian, who is his son. But he has most of his DNA as Zola's, and Captain America stole him because he was only a baby at the beginning of Captain America. Yep. And he basically raised him as a son because he said it doesn't matter if you have Zola's blood in you, like we can make you good. And they've done interesting things with it, like before All New Captain America, they dealt with Ian discovering that Captain America is not really his dad, and you know, they've gone through like a teenage rebellion phase, because of course the big thing has been that Zola lives in an alternate world. Time is different, so they age differently.
Yeah.
So basically, Ian is a late teen, young adult now, where he was only a kid about a year ago.
Yeah,
it's been pretty interesting.
The Damian Wayne was also sped growth in the New 52.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like I said, it's been pretty good. So I guess is there anything else you can think about to talk about, or?
Well, I think we did about 90 minutes now. I think.
Yeah. Went over our time a little.
Just by a little bit.
We've kept some viewers, I see, so that's good.
We didn't completely suck.
Yeah, we didn't. We had a lot less technical difficulties than I thought we would have.
Excellent. Yeah, but just mainly that hiccup in the beginning.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll go through smoother next time. So I think if all goes as planned, if you're still watching this, or if you're going to be watching this after it's posted, as soon as it's done, I believe the 21st would be the next show. That is 2 weeks from now.
21. Yep.
Yeah.
Thursday.
So make sure to tune in. The link's been showing to everyone watching it, but as well, if you're on Facebook, look up Geek Speak. We started a group and we're posting news and links, and all our Twitter feeds are in there and blogs, all that good stuff. You can kind of get all the information there. I want to say thanks for watching. Do you want to say anything, Trevor?
No, I would just echo what you said.
Yeah. I speak for all of us when I say that thanks for watching. And I think I speak for everybody when I say that Sucker Punch is probably our favorite movie of all time.
Gag.
It's trash.
And this is where we end the show. Is there? That's it. We're done.
That's the best place to end it.
That's the best place to end it. Thank you for watching. We will be back. See you later.
See you guys.